Hey, welcome back to World Entertainment. And now that the Acolyte's first 2 episodes are available for all to watch, God knows why you'd want to, we need to have a discussion about this show and everything around it and involved in it and everything else. Let's start with basically its promotional run, all the talk shows, everything they're doing. This has to be one of, if not the worst promotional tour we've ever seen. Like, it has become such a joke, such a memeable tour that it just begs belief. Now, it started back at Celebration with the whole the Star Wars universe is very patriarchal and stuff, and it's time for women to lead the charge, said by what's her head when she said yes. We had that. We then, of course, followed that up with Charlie Barden, or Barnett, whatever his name is, with his whole, the best part about Star Wars is there's no good or evil, and flat out thinks that Darth Vader's first name was Darth. And that has continued to now, where we got, of course, him once again, not once, but twice, making the same stupid statement about Anakin blew up the Death Star, and nobody correcting him. And what's even worse is, I think the Collider clip was the first one that went out. Like, you would think they would edit that. If Perry Nemro didn't correct him on that, or none of the cast members corrected him on that, you'd think Collider would have went, we should edit this because he's probably going to get a ton of shit. And they didn't. So that's on Collider. But he said that. But now, what do we get? Well, now we get The Wrap, calling the show the gayest Star Wars ever made. That's not a joke. That's not, oh, you're just being facetious now or something. No, that's what they wrote. They said they are so proud to call the Acolyte the gayest Star Wars ever. And then they even spoke about this with the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland herself, and Amandla Stenberg together. Take a look at this cringe fest.
I want to ask you both, because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you bracing yourself? Not the gayest Star Wars. Not the... It's pretty gay, let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point.
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure so.
Because nerds are gay.
Well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by gay
Well, that's
stuff.
true. But in my world, nerds are gay.
Okay. Was this the fun element of...
No, okay. I don't think so. And yet people have told me that it's the gayest Star Wars, and I frankly...
You're offended?
Into it. No.
I think that Star Wars is so gay already.
Okay.
I mean, have you seen the fits? We'd be like, look how gay this is, and then send each other a reference photo.
And are you telling me, with a straight face, that C-3PO is straight?
They're a couple. That's what I think. But this is more outward.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ask Filoni. Okay.
Ask Filoni.
Can you imagine?
Talk to Filoni.
So you see them going on and on about, oh, it's gay, it's always been gay. Isn't C-3PO gay, and isn't R2-D2 a lesbian? Well, how does that work? How could R2-D2 and C-3PO be a gay couple together in a relationship if clearly C-3PO is male, he's a male android, and R2-D2 is a lesbian? That would be a same-sex relationship, would it not? You morons. Not just that, they're robots. Oh my good God. But the fact that this is where it's all gone. It's got to be now gay and this and that and everything. It's like, it's in a galaxy far, far away. A long, long time ago. Why would there be gay people? And people are going to push back against this thing. Why wouldn't there be? Why would there be? Explain why there would be. No one ever actually explains why there would be. But the fact that this is what they're basing everything on now with Star Wars is just ridiculous. Then you're getting, of course, the story that the Force will be turned into a female entity. Yeah, that's right. They have established, or will establish in episode 3, that the Force basically came from 2 women. That's where it originated. By the sounds of this, it's going to be Maze and whatever her sister's bloody called. I still can't remember the name. And I really don't care about trying to learn their names. But their parents were a lesbian couple, 2 women. And it sounds like that is where they're trying to say the Force began. Why? Who bloody knows? So here's what Alan Ng actually tweeted out about this. When people were, like, everyone thought, even myself, was that he was saying that the actual words, the Force is female, was going to be in this show. Here's what he actually says. He says, final verdict. The 3rd episode of The Acolyte will finally kill Star Wars for the vast majority of pre-Disney Star Wars fans. Based on Lucasfilm comments of late, they are okay with that. And this is about Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, talking about unique perspectives she has for the upcoming series, which is that the Force is now actually female. And then Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, has explained why she killed off Carrie-Anne Moss's character in the opening scene of the entire show. Yes, if you saw my review, you will know that Carrie-Anne Moss was in the first 7 minutes of the entire show. That's it before she dies. Now, there's a lot that goes into later scenes that pretty much contradict how she dies. Not to mention how Star Wars itself under Disney has contradicted how she should die, which I'll get to. But, sure, Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant of, let's all say it together, Harvey Weinstein. Here's her explaining why she killed off Carrie-Anne Moss. So in an interview with Games Radar, she said, from a filmmaker's perspective, I just felt like with the cold open, especially with a new story, that you just have to go hard. You have to say the Jedi are going to take some L's. You're not going to know who the good guys and the bad guys are. And it's going to feel very visceral. Even if you already know it's going to happen, it doesn't have to be a big gotcha moment. It just has to be a moment where the emotional and physical, meaning the fights, melt together. Carrie-Anne, not just being an action legend, is also a phenomenal actress. She was able to play all those beats within the fight as well as, of course, her death scene. So you're hearing her talking there about it's basically they just wanted to give you a big shocker. Even though, how was it a shocker? We've known about it for quite some time. But how does she die? How does Indara actually die in this show? Well, as you can see via May in trailers and even the clip that we'll play, which is really a trailer, but it shows you the majority of their fight. She has those Chowie knives, and she does in fact stab her with one of the knives. It's a small knife which you can see, it was basically in the heart, even though it was actually quite off to the side from where the heart is. Tiny bit of blood, and that takes her out. So we're looking at a little knife is able to kill a Jedi. Yet a lightsaber to the chest, not once, but twice, couldn't kill a black woman named Reva. Remember that? How about the other lightsaber that went through Sabine, right through her chest as well? And she got up and walked away. Literally all these people who have been murdered, or I should say, should have been murdered with lightsabers in Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, have just got up and walked away. A little knife kills a Jedi Master. Figure that one out. But don't just figure that out. If you remember, I said, well, I should say, if you've seen the review, you'll know that one of the funniest moments at the very end of the first episode is Smilo Ren. That's what we're gonna call him. That's been his nickname I've seen online for Gimp Mask Boy or girl, whatever the hell is in that suit, giving this retarded, ridiculous, hysterically funny monologue about you must attack a Jedi unarmed and all this crap. And he's saying if you attack with steel, with a weapon, so he's saying with weapons, with steel, i.e. the knives, or lasers, you'll fail. Even though she killed him in Dara with a knife. She didn't fail, she actually succeeded. And yet that's going apparently against what her master wants. Now, I could just read out what this dipshit says, but you need to see and hear how it is actually done in the show, because it is horrendous, it is hysterical, because it is in the vein of why does a ship float and a rock sink? It is that dumb, and it feels like they forgot to edit it. Basically, it's, oh my god, it's best you just take a look for yourselves. Here is the final scene in episode 1 of The Acolyte.
The Jedi live in a dream they believe everyone shares. If you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will fail. Steel or laser are no threat to them. But an acolyte kills without a weapon. An acolyte kills the dream.
So you see there, it's hysterical. The Jedi live in a dream. An acolyte kills the dream and all that. You're like, oh my Jesus, somebody wrote this, somebody greenlit this, and somebody acted this. Wow. This show apparently the scripts made Kathleen Kennedy cry. I have a feeling they made her cry because she went, oh holy shit, this is going to be so bad, it's going to absolutely destroy Star Wars, and I'm probably actually done for this time. She probably isn't, but she could be thinking about that. There's no way she cried out of joy that it's so good. Or maybe she cried out of happiness to think, we finally did it. We finally absolutely 100% killed Star Wars. Finally. Now I can fully rebrand this thing in my image. Which we're clearly seeing what her image is. Who wrote that shit? Who wrote that shit? A dream they believe everyone shares. If you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will fail. Steel or laser are no threat to them. Even though we've seen, not just in the very first opening scene in first 7 minutes of this show, that yes, steel will kill a Jedi. Lightsabers won't do shit, but the little knife will. We've seen later on, lasers, Order 66, certainly killed the Jedi. It was just a hysterical scene. And then of course, you're hearing everybody going on about the choreography and the fight scenes and stuff. We've been playing some of that as well. And you've been seeing just what kind of shite you're looking at with scenes like that. And then Rolling Stone, and this is the funny thing, there's actually places pushing back a bit on a lot of this stuff, which was crazy to see. Rolling Stone did it. Rolling Stone put out an article, and here was the headline to that article. Actually, it still is the headline, but they've changed the article because after they put it up, they took it down for a while. But here was the headline for it. So it says, The Acolyte, this Star Wars prequel series isn't a force to be reckoned with. Even a veteran Jedi Master would lose patience with the latest Disney Plus addition to the canon, which focuses on a pair of twins, revenge, and me. They actually wrote disease. Yeah. But then people tried to get that article to screen grab it and stuff, and this is what they found when they went to it. It was like, oh, it's been removed. However, it has since been put back, but a little edited here and there. Not fully, I don't think. But For the likes of Rolling Stone to be taking shots at it is telling you something. But then, of course, you get to Rotten Tomatoes. Now, it's not doing great over on Rotten Tomatoes, but the critics' numbers are getting the kind of... There's something weird going on with it, because earlier, when the show came out, the critics' scores were very low, then they were very high, then they were low again, and they even went into the Rotten, and different people were getting different scores. As of the time of this recording, I've taken the screen grab for it, and as you can see, currently, when this is being recorded, critics' score is 93% with 92 reviews, and the audience score is at a 39%. So that is not doing good. The fans clearly have rejected this. And of course they're going to go out and say, oh, it's just review bombing. What do you call then the good scores? You know, the 5 stars that are like one line saying, I love it, and that's it. That's positive review bombing. No, these people who are so-called review bombing, just look at what they've written. They're giving it 1 star, but like they're giving big, long explanations as to what their issues are with this show. And what couldn't be your issues with it? It is so bad. Like, it's beyond belief. And from what I understand and I'm hearing, episode 3 will do for the TV show fan base what The Last Jedi did for the movie-going fan base, where it's just going to annihilate everything. Everyone is just going to go, fuck this, I'm done. It's going to be such a disaster. But the show just shows you they really don't know anything about Star Wars. Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, the very person who couldn't even name a Star Wars film, clearly couldn't name one because she's clearly never seen one. Because this thing just shows you how much they didn't know or understand about anything with Star Wars. Look at the press tours, worst we've ever seen, probably since the Eternals, where them idiots were out there talking about gay characters that were going to save lives in the real world. Yeah, by the way, the Middle East says Happy Pride Month. You don't want to look that up on Twitter. So, with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, don't miss videos, all that good stuff, because YouTube do seem to be farting about a wee bit at the moment. And with that, I'll leave it there for this one. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.
Okay, that does it. Screw you guys.